Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sergeant Alex here, and today, as you can see, we are going to be flipping the church in Minecraft. Now, I want to keep the items pretty simple, so I'm not going to go big and fancy like I have with the other ones. I'm going to use more villagery items and keep this build relatively less complex. To start off with, I'm just going to take away some of the building main features, little pointy things on the roof. I'm going to pretty much take the roof off the back end and pretty much neaten up the place because I plan on making it a little bit shorter. But I am going to expand out from the original walls. I'm gonna make a little bit of a plus sign, but the back of it I'm gonna keep one block longer than the other three sides. So here I am just mapping it out. And the center is gonna be a 3 by 3. I'm trying to line that up with the hole in the roof. Right there, I'm punching it out because that's how wide the original tower is. Even though I'm not going with that original tower, I'm going to make it a little bit shorter in the end. I'm just marking out, trying to figure out how big everything is. And each wall, these three walls, I'm just building four out. So there's four blocks, one, two, three, four. And then I want to kind of give it a little bit of a round shape. So I'm just adding two blocks to the corner. And back here with that wall, it doesn't line up because the wall goes all the way to the ground. So I just remove the entire wall, pop a hole in where my dirt is supposed to be. I patch that up really quick. And I just do the same on the other side. And I believe I take out the rest of the walls too. Yes, I do. And once I have the floor figured out on how I want the building to be shaped, I'm just going to fill in the floor with all the cobblestone goodness. And then I'm going to go around with a log, and I'm going to start building the frame. I'm going to be placing them at the ends of the parts that point out and at the two diagonal corners, just to kind of make everything look nice and supported. And after that, I'm just going to raise them four total. So there's one, and then I'm just adding three blocks on top of the one. So two, three, four. And while I'm doing this, I'm thinking of how I want to do the sideways logs. And I come up with, on the end parts, I'm going to be doing it sideways from one log to another, and then off of that log, it's going to go next to the ones in the diagonal corner. So they're not actually going to be touching the log, it's just going to be sitting right next to it. And, and when I get into the inside, I figure out how I'm going to make it all come together. But right now, I want to just kind of get the framework done because I don't have notes for this, as I said in the last village remodel video. I don't have any notes on this. The file that had the original flip, it crashed. But now I'm deciding on how I want to do the cobblestone. I want some wood in the walls, so that's why I'm not placing cobblestone everywhere. I'm just doing two little pillars at each end and then one in the diagonal corner. And then I just go around with the logs, and not the logs, the planks. And then I go placing those. And I decided I want my windows too tall, so I'm just swapping the one out with the floor and placing one for the little ceiling on the little end pieces. And I go around to all four and do that. And then I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the rest of it. And I decide to get rid of that little cobblestone pillar, make it two that are kind of going up to the log, and go around and fix all four little corners on the inside. That gives me a little bit more room to play with, and I want to have windows everywhere, but sadly I can't do it. But I do an oak pillar there just to kind of bring some of the wood in the inside, and it makes it look nice outside. And here I'm thinking how I want to do the rest of the walls, and this is where I'm starting to get the idea on how I want to finish up the logs. So as I pop those last few planks in there, I am going to go around and just play with the logs. I'm trying to keep the floor open as possible. I just decided to make the logs longer and extend them across. And then I go ahead and do the same on the other extension, kind of giving like a little square in the center. A little hiccup in my brain when I was trying to figure out how to place the last one. I couldn't remember which block exactly. But I do that, so you should have a little 3 by 3 in the center. And here I'm just trying to figure out how I want to place the rest of them. The hard part is keeping the building open. I ran into that one because it's a small build, but I want to have room to walk around and decorate with. And try not making it feel so cramped like the spot that's too high with the wall. So I resort to using half slabs for my roof, and I place them upside down So you have that 2.5 block height, so it doesn't feel extremely small and cramped, but it still is, sadly. And as I was doing this, I was thinking, maybe I should do a different log color. But I figured I'd leave that up to you if you wanted to try this build out. And now here I am just getting rid of the rest of the tower because we're going to work on the roof and then the second little chunk of the roof, which is a little tower that is going to be in the center of the building. Because I want it to be a little shorter than the vanilla church, but have room where when you go in there, it looks like okay, it's a place of worship. Just gonna pan around here now and show you what we have so far. Uh, then go around and I'm just swapping out that one cobblestone in the floor with the log, just to kind of make the theme go all the way around. Since I did it on the end pieces, I should do it with everything else and make it look nice and pretty. And here I'm just marking out where I want the roof. I make it 2 logs high because the roof is going to go up a couple blocks. And to start with, I'm just going to be doing half slabs around. I'm going to be using the same idea that I used with the roof on the large house, where I just do a row of half slabs, a row of stairs, and then I'm going to finish it off with half slabs. And on, on the logs that are putting up at the end, at the little end pieces, I am going to place a half slab there so I can curve the staircases. And one thing that I should remember is to put plenty of room between buildings, because I came up to that church wall of the vanilla church really fast. Here I'm just thinking how I want to do the roof, because I don't like how right now the roof is going to be boxy. If I continue with that theme, I want to have a little bit of a curve. Curve in the roof, which is not exactly the easiest thing to do in Minecraft. So as you can see here, I'm putting the half slab and then I'm just curving the roof around it. And it's giving the roof a little bit of shape, which, in my opinion, it desperately needs, because I don't want a big boxy roof on top of my buildings. I want something that looks a little bit more natural. Now, I was thinking of just not curving the roof at all and just having it straight out and putting a little wall in there and a window, but I want to have that little tower in there. So that's why I didn't do it. I curved the roof around instead of doing like a little gable, I think is the oldie term for it. Not exactly what the term is, but I'm following the roof with the half slabs. And for the back part, it's going to be 2. For every row else, it's going to be 1 half slab that's going to be left out of that middle row. So you're doing 2 half slabs, then 3, and then 1 to kind of finish off the roof. And then you're going to bring it up another half slab just to finish off the roof. And now I want to figure out the tower height, which it ends up being 4. I'm just filling it up with cobblestone to see what looks nice. Which the 4 works nice. It doesn't look like a full 4 blocks because of the roof. It looks more like a 2.5. And when I was originally thinking about it, I was afraid that 4 blocks, it's going to be too high, but with the way the roof goes, it works out pretty well. And I copy the same idea on the roof. I do the half slabs around it, and then just to do give the roof a little bit of a curve, I do half slabs on the corners, and then I just frame the stairs around it and finish it off with half slabs. Just to give it a little bit of a raised look without having to do it all with half slabs, because after a while with half slabs, it kind of looks weird. So I do a plus sign with half slabs, and then I just do another half slab on top to give it that nice point. And that is it for the roofs. All I have to do left is pop out some windows, which I'm just going to pop 1 out on each side. I wanted to do 2. I was thinking of doing it on the sides, but for the point of making just the building look nice, it's going to be 1 in the center. And up there is going to be a church bell, which I add later. I'm just going to fly around and add windows, not roofs. And this is where I ran into my first hiccup. There's no block for that glass to connect to. I do play around with putting blocks down. I just end up, in the end, just putting 2 glass panes so it comes out and connects to that little cobblestone block there. Once I decide to stop goofing off. There we go. I do 2, and then I just fill off that little gap in the end. I put a half slab on, on the roof. And that is it for that. That's the little long end. The shorter end is simple because it's just two glass panes in the window. Just have to make sure you're placing them in the right spot. And then the one I walked through earlier was the actual door. And to simulate a little bell, I'm just using fence post, and I'm a little gold block to make it look like a bell. You can yank the cord and make it look nice. And here I'm adding a little bit of an altar with some spruce. So I'm having the stairs back to back and having a half slab in there, so it looks a little pointy on each end. Place a little villager to act as the person in charge of the church, and some red carpet that walks up to it. And since it's a little place of worship, you have to have some place to sit down. So I add some little stairs to represent chairs, put some candles on the ends, and then I just torch it up. Make sure it's not on the seat, because if I was sitting there, I wouldn't want a torch in my head. So I place them on the little cobblestone bits next and behind. Add a door that I think the jungle door looks nice for the entrance. Has that little humble look without looking too weird. And I add a little step up. And that's pretty much it for the church. Here's the little glimpse of the inside. And for some reason, the guy in charge of it sells axes. So you can chop down wood, chop down zombies. I'm gonna pan around. It's definitely wider and longer than the vanilla church, but it's a few blocks shorter. 2, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But it definitely adds a little bit more detail, and I think looks a lot better. And before I forget, I forgot to add a chair for the guy stuck behind the altar to sit on. Thankfully, he walks forward a little bit so I can pop down a nice little seat for him. And that is going to be it for the church. Okay, and that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I love reading your comments, so please comment anything. It could be about the cats, about future episodes, about something you would like to see on the channel, anything. Other than that, this is Sergeant Alex, and I hope you have a nice day.